Imagine waking up in an ancient world where the sun seems to rise from the sea, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold. You're surrounded by towering mountains that touch the clouds and sprawling cities filled with life and laughter. This is Japan, a country that seamlessly blends tradition and innovation. But what if we told you that this enchanting land has a deeper story, one that reaches back to the dawn of humanity, echoing with tales of floods, giants, and even a connection to the very ark that saved humanity? Welcome to our channel, where we unravel the mysteries of faith and history. Today we'll take you on a journey through Japan's ancient past and show you how its roots intertwine with the biblical narrative. We'll explore the striking similarities between the story of Noah's Ark and the myths of Japan's origins. Discover how the Bible hints at the potential reach of Japheth's descendants, and uncover the captivating account of the Jesuit missionaries who brought Christianity to Japan in the 16th century. Join us as we delve into the hidden connections between Japan and the Bible, a tale that will leave you in awe. Let's start with a look at the map. Look at this familiar image that you probably recognize. It's a map of Noah's Ark. That's the Atlantic Ocean. This is the Red Sea. This is the Persian Gulf. Now let's zoom in right here, somewhere in this area. Somewhere in this area are the ancient lands of the Sumerians, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Persians, the Medes, and these people all knew the story of the flood. But look over here. This is Armenia. This is Georgia. And beyond these lands, the Bible says that Japheth's sons carried their bloodline to the farthest parts of Asia. Here, beyond the known world of the ancient Mediterranean, beyond the regions where most archaeologists and historians worked, was a mysterious land that few had explored. And that land was Japan. Some scholars believe that the Bible indicates that Japheth's descendants reached as far as Japan, which would make the Japanese people descendants of Noah. And what about the Japanese creation story? Let's dive into Japanese mythology. The Japanese creation story is rich and complex, but let's focus on a few key points. Much like the story of Noah, the Japanese creation story begins with a great flood that covers the earth. In Japanese mythology, this flood is so extensive that even the mountains are not spared. Only the wife of the sun god, Susanoo, survives, taking refuge in a cave. She emerges from the depths with two of her surviving children. One son becomes the first man, and the other becomes the first woman. So you see the parallels. The world is flooded. There is a remnant that survives, and they repopulate the earth. The Japanese also have a story of a great king named Ojin. He rules over his people with wisdom and justice, but when he passes away, his kingdom is plunged into chaos and war. After a period of turmoil, a new ruler emerges, bringing peace and prosperity back to the land. Do you notice the parallel with the story of Shem and the Tower of Babel? When Shem and his descendants migrated from the Middle East, they built cities and established kingdoms. And one of those kingdoms was Japan. But how did these stories get to Japan? Historians and archaeologists have different theories. Some believe that the stories were passed down orally for generations before being written down. Others think that the stories were brought to Japan by migrating people who had heard them in other parts of the ancient world. These oral traditions speak of migrations to Japan from the Northeast, perhaps from Korea or Russia. What's fascinating is that these myths and legends hold up under scrutiny. They align remarkably well with the biblical account of Noah's descendants spreading across the globe. Could it be that the Japanese people truly are connected to Noah and his family, making them part of a larger narrative that transcends cultures and continents? Now let's fast forward to the 16th century. Imagine walking along a bustling street in medieval Japan, the air filled with the scent of incense and the sound of temple bells ringing in the distance. Suddenly, you hear a commotion in the marketplace. People are gathered around listening intently to a foreigner speaking in a language you don't understand. His words are translated into Japanese, and what he has to say captures everyone's attention. This man is a Jesuit missionary who has come from Europe carrying a message that would change Japan forever. He speaks of a powerful God who loves all people and wants them to know about his Son, Jesus Christ. The people are intrigued, and many begin to follow this new teaching. Christianity takes root in Japan, spreading like wildfire among the common folk who find solace and hope in the message of the missionaries. Churches are built and the people worship openly, sharing their newfound faith with anyone who will listen. It's a time of great spiritual awakening, and the future looks bright for the young church in Japan. But this prosperity is short-lived. The leaders of Japan, known as the shoguns, become suspicious of the growing influence of Christianity. They fear that the missionaries are not only converting the people away from traditional religions, but also becoming a threat to their power. Persecutions begin, and the Christians in Japan face unimaginable horrors. Families are torn apart, forced to choose between renouncing their faith and facing severe punishments. Many remain faithful, enduring torture, imprisonment, and even death rather than abandon their beliefs. Despite the persecution, the Christians in Japan do not give up. They meet in secret, continuing to worship and pass on their faith to the next generation. They hide crosses in plain sight, disguising them as everyday objects and reciting prayers under the cover of darkness. Their faith tested and refined, the Christians in Japan become known as the Kakure Kirishitan, meaning hidden Christians. But wait, there's more to this story. As the centuries pass, the memory of the persecution fades and a new Japan emerges. Traditional religions are revived, and Christianity is no longer seen as a threat. The descendants of the Kakure Kirishitan, now known as the hidden Christians, begin to emerge from hiding. They rebuild their communities and their faith, determined to honor their ancestors who had endured so much to preserve their traditions. They welcome missionaries from Europe who had come to help revive Christianity in Japan. The cycle of faith, persecution, and revival becomes a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of belief. Today, Japan stands as a nation that has embraced innovation and progress while still holding on to its cultural heritage. Skyscrapers pierce the clouds in cities like Tokyo and Osaka, reflecting the country's advanced technology and industrial prowess. However, amidst this modern marvel, traces of ancient traditions can still be found. Shrines and temples dot the landscape, serving as reminders of Japan's deep-rooted spiritual beliefs. Festivals celebrating ancient myths and legends bring communities together, keeping the spirit of tradition alive. The story of Japan is one of resilience and adaptation. After enduring the devastating atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II, the country rose from the ashes with determination and unity. Japan's post-war economic growth became a beacon of hope and recovery, transforming it into one of the world's leading economies. As we conclude our exploration of Japan's story, we're left with a sense of awe and wonder. From its ancient origins to its modern marvels, Japan has captivated our imagination and shown us the power of faith, resilience, and innovation. But as we reflect on the journey we've shared, we're reminded of the deeper spiritual truths that connect us all. The Bible tells us that humanity's story began with a great flood and a promise of a new beginning. In Japan's creation story, we see echoes of this narrative, a world cleansed and a new generation rising from the waters. The story of Noah's Ark isn't just a tale of survival, it's a symbol of hope and renewal. The story of the hidden Christians in Japan is a testament to the strength of faith. Their unwavering belief and acts of courage continue to inspire us today. And as we look to the future, we're reminded of the words from Psalm 113:3. From the rising of the sun to the place where it sets, the name of the Lord is to be praised. Japan, the land where the sun rises, holds a special place in this psalm. reminding us that God's glory knows no bounds and His love reaches every corner of the earth. We invite you to join us in praising God for the incredible journey we've experienced together. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. As we've explored the story of Japan and its profound connections to the Bible, we hope you've been inspired by the tales of faith, courage, and resilience that have echoed through the ages. If you enjoyed this episode and want to continue exploring the fascinating intersections of faith and history, please don't forget to subscribe. Your support means everything to us. Until next time, may you find joy and wonder in the stories that connect us all. Remember, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the God of the entire world, and His love knows no bounds. Stay curious, keep believing, and let the adventures continue.